Hi, my name is Emma, and welcome to this easy Vinyasa yoga class here at Birthing Well. For this class, it's completely beginner friendly, very good entry point into yoga if you've never done yoga before. I have a mat. You can do this on your living room floor on a carpet. The mat is good for cushioning our wrists, ankles, and knees. It's absolutely not required. Another prop that I have is my yoga blocks. Yoga blocks are a good way to make some poses accessible to people in ways that our practice, our flexibility is not quite there yet, and that's perfectly fine. If you do have them, fantastic, and if you don't, you don't. So we're going to begin seated here in our easy seat, which is a cross-legged position. We're going to start with a little bit of warming up. We're going to start with a little bit of breathing. So I invite you to rest your arms at your sides. So I like to put my palms on my knees. You can put them face up. You can rest them in your lap. And I'm going to allow my eyes to flutter closed. And I'm going to focus on my breathing. As I inhale, I'm going to allow the air to fill the side of my lungs and the back of my ribs, making space in the chest cavity and raising the crown of my head towards the sky. As I exhale, I'm going to allow my back to curl downward, rolling a little bit onto the back of my pelvis, slumping down. On the inhale, rise to the sky. And exhale, back down. One more time, inhale. Rolling the shoulders back, opening the ribs wide toward the sky. And exhale, slumping in the spine. On the inhale, we're going to return to a neutral spine. I'm going to rock gently side to side, just waking up my back vertebra by vertebra, maybe feeling where there might be some tension, seeing places that I want to be more gentle with, or somewhere where I might want to put a little bit of my focus today. And I'm going to plant my right hand on the mat and inhale, sweeping my arm overhead, leaning gently to stretch out my side body. Your sits bones should remain fully in contact with the mat or the floor for this stretch. And I'm going to sweep my left arm to the ground, plant it with my palm making contact with the ground, and my right arm overhead in a side body stretch on the other side. Once more on the inhale, plant the right arm, bring the left arm over. And on the exhale, we're going to return. Inhale, plant the left hand, bring the right hand over. And exhale. I'm going to bring both of my arms overhead, palms together, palms to heart center. And we are going to set an intention for this practice. Your intention is anything. It can be personal to you. It can just be something that you've been thinking about lately. You're more than welcome to join me in the intention that I'm setting today. And the intention for me today is strength. And so I'm focusing on building strength in my own body and resilience in doing things that are difficult for me. So you can keep your intention in mind as we go through different poses, and you can maybe repeat something to yourself. So we are going to now progress into what is called cobbler's pose or bound ankle, butterfly pose. There's a lot of different names for this one. So we're going to bring the soles of our feet together, and while keeping your spine straight upright, we're going to bring our ankles in. So however close you can bring your heels until you feel that first sensation is where you should stop. So don't push further than is comfortable for you. I've been practicing yoga for several years, so my range of motion is going to be a little bit different. If this is your first time, don't push your body into something you're not ready for. We're just going to gently flutter our knees up and down. And we're going to kind of tip side to side. This is another just waking up our hips, keeping our spine straight and our head elevated. Flutter my legs again. And I'm going to hinge gently at the waist, just coming forward onto my hands. As far as is comfortable for me. Option to bring our feet further out if they're closer in. And this will just stretch out a little bit more on the inside of our thighs. Making sure to breathe the entire time. Exhale on the bend. And inhale, we're going to walk back up towards our feet. I'm going to feel out my sides of my hips a little bit, just making sure that I have the motion that I want there. And we're just going to gently bring our knees up. And I'm going to rotate to the side. You don't have to, but I'm going to do this so that you can see what I'm doing. So we are now going to gently stretch out our hamstrings and our legs. So first, I would like to invite you to extend one leg. Now, my range of motion with my knees is such that they don't necessarily like to be completely extended. And so I'm going to rest a blanket underneath one of my knees. This is absolutely optional, but this is just for my own comfort and to prevent injury. So I'm going to place my hand behind me. Other hand, sorry. Place for my left leg, my left arm behind me, and placing my right arm on my knee and stretch out. Just a very gentle twist. This is once again to the first sensation. We're not going to push our body more than we're comfortable with. Inhale here and exhale and release, untwist. And I'm going to switch legs. One leg bent, one leg straight. Planting my hand behind me, twisting out to the other side. And untwist. I'm going to extend my legs together. Put this back. And I'm just going to keep that gentle bend in my legs. Option to straighten them and just hinge gently at the waist, coming forward over my legs. Just feeling out my hamstrings and my calves, bottom of my feet. And this is just option to do whatever you'd like, what feels good for warming up your body. And I'm going to let my back curl and then walk my hands together to sit upright again. Crossing my feet, I'm going to plant my hands in front of me and come into what is called a tabletop pose. With the tabletop, our hands should be splayed and firmly planted below our shoulders, and our knees should be hip distance apart and pushing into the mat with our feet also pushing into the mat. Your weight should be evenly distributed in the middle of your torso, and we're just going to gently bob our tailbone back and forth. I'm going to rock a little bit forward and backwards to wake up my wrists. Making sure to move forward on the inhale, backwards on the exhale, just to maintain that rhythm of breathing. Just gently wag my pelvis side to side. I'm going to invite another twist. I'm going to plant my left hand and raise my right arm to the sky. And exhale, thread it through, resting our shoulder on the ground. You'll see this on the other side as well. Once again, not going further than we're comfortable with. And on the inhale, bringing back to our neutral tabletop. I'm going to repeat that on the other side. So inhale, our left arm up and overhead, keeping this T shape. And exhale, sweeping underneath, threading that arm and resting the shoulder on the ground. On that inhale, I'm going to return once again to our neutral tabletop. I'm going to invite you now to join me in a downward facing dog. This can be a challenging pose for many people, but here's a couple of cues that can make it more accessible and easier to get into. So we're going to keep our palms splayed, our hand in contact with the mat. I'm going to move my blocks here. Hands in contact with the mat. Our toes are going to be curled under. Most important thing for this pose is that we maintain a strong, straight spine. So however much we need to bend in our knees to make sure that that happens is how much you're going to bend in your knees. So you'll see that I won't have my legs straight because I'm prioritizing keeping a strong spine. So I'm going to lift my knees off the ground, bringing my knees towards my chest as I bring my straightened spine with my tailbone facing towards the sky. So we're going to sit here for a little bit. I'm going to pedal my feet gently, bending one leg, gently straightening the other. This is just to wake up my hamstrings, but keeping my shoulders away from my ears so that we're not tucking up. Shoulders away from my ears and my back straight. So I'm going to straighten one leg, straighten the other. Just gently walking out our legs. We're going to return to our downward facing dog. I'm going to bring my right leg up to the sky, bending gently at the knee, and bring it forward, planting it between my hands for a runner's lunge. This pose can be a little bit of an unsteady one, but we're going to bend in the knee and rise upward on that strong bent knee. So I'm going to bring my back foot to a 45-degree angle from my front foot. Front leg bent, back leg straight, my weight between both feet. As I inhale, my arms overhead for warrior one. I'm going to deepen it slightly on my exhale. This isn't necessary, but you are more than welcome to join me. On the next inhale, we're going to pivot our back foot to be at a 90-degree angle and our arms to a T as we bend on our front foot into warrior two. Warrior two, once again, our weight should be directly between our 2 feet, and our feet should be firmly planted in the ground as we press our weight downward. Remember to take deep inhales and exhales. That's how we maintain strength through these poses. And I'm going to twist forward back into a high lunge, my arms overhead, and exhale, planting my hands on either side of my front foot. So we're going to bring our feet back together. And I'm going to take what is called a chaturanga flow. So we're going to come up into the downward dog. And very gently, I'm going to slide my feet backwards as I roll forward into a plank or a modified plank on our knees. So I'm going to scoot a little bit down so that I stay in frame. We're going to move forward so that our hands are no longer directly under our shoulders. They are now underneath kind of our elbow armpit area. Bend, scraping our elbows across our rib cage. Now we can come up into a Sphinx pose, or if it's within your practice, an upward facing dog. And I'm going to flip my feet. On the inhale, rising up into downward facing dog. Once again, pedaling out the legs. You're doing fantastic. And this is a good time to remind yourself of the intention that you set at the beginning. As we breathe, we're going to sweep our left leg up now, bending at the knee and driving that knee forward to plant between my 2 hands. This is our runner's lunge once again. As we stand, we're going to stay strong through the legs, bringing the arms up overhead, planting the heel on the ground, 45-degree angle from the first one. Bending the knee to come forward. Staying strong. And turning that back foot 90 degrees, bringing our arms out to a T, looking over the front foot for warrior 2. Inhale and exhale. Coming to a high lunge, we're going to pivot forward and bring our hands down to frame our foot, bringing our feet back together in the downward facing dog. Once again, we're going to take a chaturanga flow, rolling forward over our hands into a high plank or modified plank on our knees. Rolling forward, keeping our elbows in, tight to our chest as we rise into the upward facing dog. Making sure not to dump into our lower back. I'm going to flip my feet over. Once again into the downward facing dog, bent legs straight back. Now we're going to progress into a rest pose. I'm going to bring gently my knees to the ground. My toes are going to go together. My knees can either be close together or wide. We're going to sit back into child's pose. And with this, we're going to begin our cool down for today. I'm just going to rock gently side to side on my hips. I'm going to come forward onto my elbows and then back up onto my hands and knees. You might get a little bit of popping and clicking from your body as you do this practice, but that's all right. Everybody's body is different. I'm going to cross my ankles once again and sit back into my easy seat. Reminder to drink some water. Maybe before, maybe after, maybe during, but it's important to stay hydrated so that our bodies can stay limber and healthy. All right, we're going to transition into the cool down portion. And once again, I'm going to be staying sideways relative to you so that you can see what I'm doing. But you're more than welcome to rotate your mat however you need, or rotate yourself however you need for your practice. So I'm going to bring my feet in front of me once again, but this time I'm going to roll backwards to lay gently on my mat. Keeping my knees bent, I'm going to rest my hands either on my belly or at my sides, whatever feels good for your shoulders. Just gently sway your knees back and forth, kind of like a windshield wiper. Keeping your hips and your feet in contact with the ground. Bringing them back to center. We're going to invite another twist. I'm going to bring my arms out to a T, and one leg is going to be extended first. It's going to be my left leg, and my right leg is going to cross over. So I'm going to bring my right leg, twist in my hips to rest it on the ground or float it in the air. And I'm going to turn my face to the side, opposite side from the leg that's stretched, from the direction that the leg is stretching. Inhale, I'm going to bring that back. Center myself again. Extend with the other leg. Bring my left leg up at an angle, cross it over, and turn my head to the other side. Sweeping my knee up once again on the inhale. I'm going to bring both knees up and hug them to my chest. Bobbing side to side. Just giving my body a thank you for participating in this practice today. Another option here is to go into happy baby. So I'm going to link my fingers through my big toes and extend the soles of my feet towards the ceiling. Once again, rocking back and forth, be forward and back to the top and bottom of my mat. And then now I'm going to gently just extend my feet out. I'm going to slide up on my mat a little bit. And we are going to move into our meditation portion. And this will be very brief. The purpose of the meditation is not to have a completely empty mind or to avoid having distracting thoughts. It's just a moment to rest and be with ourselves and our body. Thank our body for the work that it does every single day and to become more aware of who we are and what we're capable of. So I'm going to move into, this is the corpse pose or Shavasana, allowing my eyes to flutter shut as we continue to breathe. Any thoughts that come to the surface are not a sign that we're distracted. They're simply something our mind does. So we allow them to show up and allow them to move on as we rest. I invite you now to come back to your bodies. We're going to wiggle our toes and our fingers, bending at our ankles, wrists, elbows, and knees, waking back up. And when you're ready, I invite you to join me in a fetal position. We're going to curl the arm under our head and our knees towards our chest. I like to take this moment to remind myself of God's love for me and for the beauty of this body that I have. I like to remind myself of the happy and joyful things that are in this life. And when you're ready, we're going to work our way up to an easy seat once again. On my inhale, I'm going to tip slowly forward, never going very quickly, as I bring my hips below me and slowly stack my spine till I'm upright once again. Thank you all for joining me in this practice. I hope that you had a wonderful time, that you feel a little bit more rested, a little bit more calm, a little bit more in tune with yourself. But we are going to end with another breath. We're going to inhale with our arms overhead, palms meeting together. I'm going to tip backwards, just a gentle baby back bend. And on our next exhale, I'm going to bring my palms to heart center. The light and divine in me sees, honors, and appreciates the light and divine in you. Namaste.